Hi everyone, it's Tozer here with another new music review. This week we're going to be discussing the new For King and Country record, the epically titled Run Wild, Live Free, Love Strong. By now I think most Christian music fans are already aware that For King and Country is really Joel and Luke Smallbone, Rebecca St. James's little brothers. In 2012, Joel and Luke surprised a lot of us with the fresh and very well-developed style of their debut album, Crave. Since then, they've been touring constantly and have also released a live album and a Christmas EP. I gained a whole new appreciation for them after seeing them perform live at Kingdom Bound a few years back. Even with all of this busyness over the past couple of years, Run Wild is still considered For King and Country's sophomore album, and we've all heard of the so-called dreaded sophomore slump. So do For King and Country fall prey to the sophomore slump? Absolutely not. This record is just as good and, in my opinion, is in fact even better than Crave. It's difficult to put your finger on exactly what it is that makes For King and Country's music feel so different, but I suspect a lot of it just comes down to the fact that they're doing their own thing. Most of their music is very accessible and catchy, yet not immediately identifiable musically as Christian music. I get the sense that Joel and Luke already have a pretty good sense for who they are, musically speaking, and they present it to us in something of a take-it-or-leave-it fashion. I love that. Certainly there are other factors that one could point to, which no doubt also play a role in For King and Country's unique sound, such as their use of the xylophone, their drum-heavy arrangements, or their mainstream musical influences, for example. There are several tracks on Love Wild worth drawing attention to, but let me just mention a few. Certainly one song that you don't want to miss is the one that Luke does with his wife Courtney, Without You, and make sure you also take the time to watch the touching music video. The song is inspired by Luke and Courtney's struggle with a serious illness that Luke has, and it expresses their very basic desire to not have to live without one another. Suffice it to say, this is definitely one of the highlights of the album. Another one of my favorites is a song called Long Live. Joel and Luke obviously want to inspire people with their music, and somehow they manage to pull this off without sounding overly preachy. Long live the young at heart, you know who you are. With your spirit burning, take a risk, take a chance, carry on. Long live the soul set free. When you pair big lyrics like this with musical aggression and vocal passion, the result is actually a pretty invigorating listen. The last track I'll mention is my standout track, Run Wild. This song represents the best of what makes For King and Country who they are. The chorus is nothing short of explosive, and I love the Andy Mineo rap in the middle of the song. It's become pretty commonplace in recent years for Christian rap artists, such as Lecrae, to feature Christian pop artists on their records, but it goes the other way somewhat less often. It's a risky move, especially on the opening track, since they run the risk of alienating some of the adult contemporary fan base right from the get-go. But you know what? It works. And the payoff is a song that is arguably the best of the record.
Depends with direction. Some people run from fear, some from their own reflection. Some people run their mouth, some people run their house, ruling with the heart of a tyrant. Some people run their block, but shots with the 4-4 firing. That's the environment.
On the constructive critique side, I think For King and Country's biggest strength might also, in some sense, be their biggest weakness. They give a lot of songs a very epic feel, but even this can get old after a while. It also makes for a very serious and even tiring listen at times. I do wish that sometimes they would lighten up a bit and give us a fun song or two. There's just not much of that on this record. Personally, I'd also love to see them experiment even more with different genres, especially with the heavier side of their sound, much like they did with Andy Mineo on the song Run Wild. All in all though, after giving this record several listens, I've got to hand it to For King and Country. They're forging their own path in Christian music, and I respect them for knowing who they are. I'm giving Run Wild, Live Free, Love Strong 4 out of 5 stars. To hear more of my favorites from Run Wild, be sure to join me this Saturday from 3 to 5 on CHRI's weekly Top 20 Countdown, and have an awesome week.